am a clinical nutritionist and chef, and I have seen hundreds of people wondering why their gut keeps getting worse even though they're eating what is supposed to be healthy. In this video, I'll walk you through 5 popular health foods secretly wrecking your digestion, plus what to eat instead, so your gut can finally start to heal instead of throwing a grenade at it every single day. Now stick around to the end because number 5 is something most people eat every single morning. All right, let's get into it. So here's the thing about the health food industry. They've gotten really good at making ultra-processed foods sound healthy. They slap organic, plant-based, probiotic onto the label, charge you double, and hope you don't read the lab-like ingredient label. But your gut doesn't care about marketing. Your gut bacteria respond to what's actually in the food. And these 5 foods are causing inflammation, destroying beneficial gut bacteria, and damaging your intestinal lining, your sacred gut wall that protects all of your body, even your brain. Now, a quick question before I get into it. I want to know, of the top offenders that are coming your way, what do you regularly consume and what country are you from? Pop it in the comments. All right, number 1, fresh juices. So fresh juices sound healthy, right? Celebs swear by them. They're supposed to be a cleanse. The cold pressed green juice is marketed as the ultimate detox. But when researchers tested popular detox juices, they found the opposite of a cleanse because they trigger inflammation and actually reduce healthy gut bacteria. So a 2024 study published in the Nutrients Journal tested commercial detox juice cleansers, the exact products promoted by wellness influencers, and they found that they actually significantly promote pro-inflammatory microbes in your gut and in your mouth. Now that was associated with inflammation, intestinal permeability, and even cognitive decline. So let me say that again. Juice cleansers increase the bacteria that cause leaky gut and brain fog. That's the opposite of what they're supposed to do. And here's why. When you remove the fiber from the fruits and vegetables, you're left with concentrated sugar. A real orange has about 12 grams of sugar, but also 3 grams of fiber to slow the absorption. Now, orange juice has the same 12 grams of sugar with minimal or no fiber, so your body treats it like soft drink. And that sugar spike feeds inflammatory bacteria species while starving the beneficial bacteria that need fiber to survive. That decreases diversity, increases proteobacteria, which is a marker of gut dysbiosis, and the result is you get an impaired gut barrier, metabolic endotoxemia, and even fatty liver. So the swap is obviously eat whole fruit and vegetable. But if you want something drinkable, make a smoothie instead. Keep the fiber intact. Throw the spinach, the berries, banana, maybe some chia seeds in the whole form. You get the nutrients and the fiber that feeds your microbiome. Number 2, margarine and vegetable oil spreads. So these are marketed as heart-healthy butter alternatives. For decades, doctors told us to switch to margarine to protect our hearts. But it turns out that advice was destroying your gut the entire time. And unfortunately, it does take decades for the truth to come out from research because margarine is made from pro-inflammatory industrial seed oils, soybean, canola, sunflower. And they are extracted using high heat and chemical solvents like hexane, which is a neurotoxin as well. Then they're bleached, deodorized, and partially hydrogenated to make them solid at room temperature. It's yuck. It's really bad. And the result is trans fats. So even the margarines claiming 0 trans fats can contain 0.5 grams per serving because of labeling loopholes. And trans fats don't just damage your heart, they wreck your gut microbiome. A 2021 study found that the industrial seed oils increase intestinal permeability, also known as leaky gut. They trigger inflammation pathways, reduce beneficial bacteria like Lactobacillus bifidobacterium, the exact bacteria you need for healthy digestion and even immune function. Plus, margarine is loaded with emulsifiers, mono and diglycerides, the same compounds that thin protective gut mucus layer and cause chronic inflammation around your body. So if you look at the label on a typical margarine ingredient list, you can see 10 plus ingredients versus you replace that with one in butter, and that is cream. And your body knows how to process that one ingredient, and your gut bacteria can even thrive on it. It also tastes a whole lot better than that chemical extracted vegetable oil. And here's the kicker. The recent research shows full fat dairy from grass-fed cows contains beneficial fatty acids like CLA. And that actually reduces inflammation and supports gut health. So we've been told to avoid the very thing that actually helps us. So what's the swap? Of course, real butter, ideally from grass-fed cows. If you can get cultured, that's even better. And if you're sensitive to dairy proteins like casein, try ghee instead. Number 3, and this one shocks and bloats most people. Protein bars. And I get it, they're convenient, you're busy, you need a quick protein fix, and it seems like the perfect solution. But flip the bar over and read that ingredient list. I guarantee you will find at least some of these major gut irritants. Sugar alcohols like maltitol, erythritol, sorbitol. These cause massive bloating and gas because your gut bacteria ferment them, creating hydrogen and methane gas. I mean, you may as well eat a balloon. One bar can contain 10 to 15 grams of sugar alcohols. And so that is enough to leave you really uncomfortable for hours. Plus, most of the bars are held together with inflammatory seed oils like soybean, sunflower, canola. We spoke of them just before. And these oils are pro-inflammatory because they're much higher in omega-6 fatty acids. So that's going to promote the inflammation through your body, including the gut lining. Now, don't get me started on the artificial sweetener game in these bars. Have been shown in studies to alter the gut microbiome composition. So it's going to reduce your good bacteria, and it actually increases inflammatory markers. So the swap here, real food, make your own protein balls. Put some oats, nuts, or nut butter, and flavoring in there. Freeze them for a grab-and-go convenient snack. Or just keep it super simple, like hard-boiled eggs, a quality beef jerky, edamame is really nice, and just even nuts prepared the right way. And that's really important because nuts, grains, and legumes need to be prepared the right way to be gut friendly, especially if you have compromised gut health. So soaking and activating removes the phytic acid and enzyme inhibitors that cause the bloating and block the nutrients absorption from the food. So check out the links below for my Activated Like a Pro cheat sheet, because it shows you exactly how to prepare nuts, grains, and legumes to support your gut instead of irritating it. And yeah, I get it. It does take some prep, but 10 minutes on a Sunday means you have real protein all week without the bloating, gas, and gut inflammation that those protein bars cause. I really think it's worth it. All right, quick question. What is your favorite protein ball recipe? Let me know in the comments. Number 4. Number 4 is going to upset some people. Commercial whole wheat or seeded bread. Now, I am not anti-grain, but modern whole wheat is not what our grandparents used to eat. This one's been hybridized for higher yields, so it's got much higher gluten content, and the proteins are super hard to digest. Plus, the modern commercial bakers completely skip the crucial fermentation step that breaks down the gut irritating compounds like the gluten or gliadin, because they're made with fast rise yeast. So no fermentation time. Fermentation will actually make the bread significantly easier to digest. The other bigger issue with commercial breads is that the whole wheat bread and other breads as well are ultra processed. Check the label because I bet there's 15 to 25 ingredients on there. So this popular healthy whole grain bread has whole wheat flour, wheat, gluten, sugar, yeast, soybean oil, calcium propionate, DATM, monoglycerides, calcium sulfate, enzymes, ascorbic acid, and other words that I can't really pronounce. So if I'm just going to quickly break that down, the problem areas, they've got the wheat gluten that's not close to nature. No, it's got the DATEM, which is an emulsifier that increases the pro-inflammatory molecules. Calcium propionate is like a preservative linked as a gut irritant, and it's also linked to negative changes in the microbiome ecosystem. And we wonder why we're so sick. Bread should have 4 ingredients: flour, water, salt, and a starter culture. And that's it. And it absolutely needs to be fermented for at least 24 hours. Or more, the longer the better, to reduce the harmful bits and create beneficial organic acids that feed your good gut bacteria. So that swap real sourdough bread from an artisan bakery. I mean real sourdough, not the stuff in plastic bags in the supermarket marked sourdough on the label, but yeast in the ingredients. So talk to your baker. How long do they leave in it for? Now, number 5 is low-fat or fat-free dairy products. So this includes skim milk, low-fat cheese, fat-free yogurt. And yes, this is what people are having every single morning. And sadly, for decades, we were falsely told that fat makes you fat and it clogs your arteries. Thanks to Ansel Keys' flawed research, which deserves a full video on its own. So the food industry responded by giving us low-fat everything. But here's what really happened when they took the fat out. First, they had to add sugar and thickness to make it taste like something other than watery sadness. So that low-fat yogurt, check the label. It's probably got more sugar than ice cream. Second, when you remove the fat from the dairy, you remove your ability to absorb the nutrients like vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin K. So they're fat-soluble vitamins, which means you need fat to absorb them. Without fat in the meals, these vitamins pass right through you. Plus, they have thickeners like carrageenan, modified food starch. This is going to irritate your gut lining, cause more inflammation, and the studies show that it triggers the inflammatory pathways in intestinal cells. So the real kicker here is that full-fat dairy from grass-fed cows contains conjugated linoleic acid and beneficial short-chain fatty acids that actually reduce inflammation, feed your good gut bacteria. I know that they're really annoying, yucky, gross, hard words, but they're beneficial. So this low-fat trend has created a generation of people with nutrient deficiencies and gut issues. And also the low-fat dairy leaves you so hungry. So 30 minutes later, you want to eat more, so it spikes your blood sugar and it's feeding the inflammatory bacteria. So it's a super no-no. And the best swap, quality full-fat dairy, preferably grass-fed and fermented if possible. All right, so which of the 5 foods surprised you the most? And which one do you still eat regularly? Drop it in the comments. There's no judgment here, I'm just curious. So there you have it, the 5 healthy foods that are secretly destroying your gut health. What's the common thread? They're all ultra-processed versions of real food, marketed with healthy halos to justify premium prices usually. So the fix is simple, choose real, minimally processed versions instead. And if you've been eating these foods and struggling with bloating, gas, brain fog, digestive issues, try swapping them out for just 2 weeks. I am sure that you will notice a difference. But also, if you want a complete step-by-step roadmap to start healing your gut, not just food swaps, but real meal plans, shopping lists, my ancient grain preparation method, symptoms tracker, exact 3-phrase protocol I use with my private clients, check out my gut health course. It's a one-stop shop to get your gut in a good place without the overwhelm. I'll put the links in the description. Thanks for watching. I'm Leilani. Love your guts.